Okay, so this is just another video to cover more Oculus Rift games and experiences. Unfortunately, I've lost some of the footage I wanted to show you, and I've also lost the sound for this first video, but I decided that it would be of more use on YouTube than on my laptop. I'm going to show 7 items this time. I'll put links to where you can grab copies of these in the video description or in a blog entry. I haven't decided yet. First of all, this is a test app that MDK has created, and it's a real shame that the sound isn't on here, as it really helps with the immersion. I really appreciated the detail in the modelling. It's the reason why I appear to stare at the wall for ages for no particular reason. Okay, next I have 2 experiences or games from Anello Designs. Waking Man tries to create an environment for you to meditate within. I found the menu mechanism interesting and pretty intuitive. The menu item activates if you stare at it for long enough. I do wonder what the future standard method of interaction will be for VR, as the norms are still emerging. This is a pretty cool and tranquil environment. Idyllic, really, and mimicking the in-game avatar's posture is a really cool experience. The idea that you could go to your happy place is an interesting one in itself, and I can really see this kind of thing working if you just want to spend a little while relaxing in a VR environment. There could be some issues with meditation though, as I think most people meditate with their eyes closed, and I think I would want higher resolution before I felt comfortable with just spending lots of time in the environment. The next game by Anello Designs is called Eden River. It reminds me of Flower on PS3 if you've played it, but it's just a lot more immersive. The wind sound really gives you the impression that you're gliding quickly and nearly skimming the water. I did feel a little motion sickness coming in towards the end of my ride though. Next up is Oculus Maximus, a gladiator simulator. It's what you dreamed of immediately after seeing the Gladiator movie. This is really good fun. I love the way that you can tap your sword against the shield, and the noise you get as you enter the arena is amazing. The sound effects and the visuals really worked for me. You use a razor hydra to control the shields in one hand and then a sword in the other. This really works, but then the razor's rotation does slowly drift after a while, and you can find that the controls get a little odd. The razor may be pointing one way in reality and pointing in a different direction in virtual reality. Hopefully these types of problems will disappear later with systems like STEM. Nonetheless, a pretty powerful experience.
Stands before you today. I give you the mighty destroyer of mortals. I give you Oculus Maximus.
Reddit. I've spent quite a lot of time on Reddit more recently. This is a visualization of Reddit within a 3D space. Each subreddit is put into a section in the 3D space. With the release I'm showing you, the resolution was really just too low to use to browse Reddit. But again, it's a seriously interesting experiment. It really reminded me of how supermarkets logically organise their stores within a physical space to make things easy to find, and raises questions about the best way to interact with large amounts of data in a VR world. For example, what about those little signs you get above each aisle to say what's in that aisle? The sound also adds another dimension to the experience. It's interesting to try to think about what might work and what might not work in the future. For example, we don't usually expect sound in many text-heavy websites, but videos are everywhere these days. I guess supermarket layouts are probably a good estimate of what may work, but they don't take advantage of some of the things that you can do in a VR world. Imagine, for example, how Superman would want his supermarket signage to work. With his ability to get from one place to the other in no time at all, the ability to defy gravity, without X-ray vision of his. So, how to convey a real sense of place? For a supermarket, for example, they'd blast you with air conditioning as soon as you enter what they call the decompression zone, and then hit you with the smell of fresh bread whilst allowing you to feast your eyes on the fruit and veg. Are these the kinds of things that future game developers are going to have to pay more attention to? Who knows? The next thing I tried was Sightline. It's pretty unique in that I don't think it would really work in other types of media. The intro is particularly interesting. The experience coordinates the visual and the audio so that it's triggered by where you're looking or not looking at particular objects. A similar mechanism as when you play musical statues, I guess. Makes you wonder if documentary-like content could be presented in such a way. I can definitely see things like museums making use of these types of interactions.
Quantum physics tells us that the universe is volatile. Particles can come into existence and vanish back into nothingness as long as we can't observe this happening. But if you're not looking, anything can happen here.
The later parts of this demo were also interesting, but made me feel pretty motion sick. The last experience I want to show you is called Probably Archery. I don't have the clip where I actually tried playing the game, but I'm sure you can find that elsewhere. The thing that I was most interested in was actually the menu art. This really worked for me. It just looked really good, even with the low resolution display of the current Oculus Rift. So check out the blog at oculushut.com if you're interested in the various VR things I'm trying out. Thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you next time.